I am Jeff Martin from resetmeditation.com, and we are going through meditating on the hand. And this is step 2, right? In step 1, we just did the tip of the finger. If you're successfully able to do that, even just for a few seconds, then you can meditate. And everyone can meditate. Everyone can pay attention to their sensations. It is an ability we inherently have. We naturally have it. And I'm reminding you that we have it and that we can develop it, right? We can progress it. And so now we are going to expand on that success, right? And get step 2 of success. So the next aspect is to expand into this full finger. So just like before, we're experiencing all the sensations in the tip of the finger, but we're just going to keep going down to the next knuckle and to the next knuckle and all of the spaces in between. All right. So just as an example, I'm going to demonstrate what my experiences are just in this moment. Our sensations change as we feel those sensations, and they change based on the context, what we've done that day, how our health is, how our emotions are, our mental state. Our sensations are changed by everything that we experience. It is our phenomenological experience. And so there isn't a right or a wrong in what you're experiencing, other than we just want to observe the sensations, whatever may be there. It could be painful, it could be good, it could be tense, it could be loose, it could be hot, it could be cold, it could be heavy, it could be light, it could be tingly, it could be numb, could have difficulty feeling some of the parts, and that's fine. We just keep feeling what there is to feel there. All right? So if I start at the tip of the finger, I feel just a little bit of almost like evaporation, or like sweat off the skin, something like that. It's just a very light sensation. And as I come down the front, the palm side of this finger, I feel a slight pressing. It's like I'm lightly pressing it into something. And when I get down to that knuckle, I feel almost like a giving in there, kind of like the knuckle wants to bend, essentially, is what it is. As I move further down past that first knuckle on the finger, pointer finger here, I feel a little bit of, it's like a fullness, like a meatiness. Like a heftiness in the middle of the finger, really. And as I keep moving down, I get to that second knuckle, and there's a feeling of like working very, very lightly, like the muscle is tense, but not too much. As I go further down and we get to the base of the finger, though, in between there, it keeps getting tenser and tenser until at the base of the finger, in that joint, I can feel it really working. It's slightly, very slightly painful. It's uncomfortable. Not really painful. I'd say it's uncomfortable in the way that it's working. And so as I move through that joint to the back side of the finger, that tension increases and that uncomfortableness increases until I get to this other side. And as I work up the back of the finger, in between this base knuckle and that next knuckle up, I can feel very, very little. It's like there's not much happening there. I can feel that it's there, but nothing really stands out as far as the sensations goes. Nothing that I can put a name on to verbalize very well. In the next knuckle up, I feel an immense amount of tension, actually, as far as the finger goes. That's where I feel the most amount of tension right now, is the back side of that second knuckle up. And then as I keep moving up, I feel tingliness. Once you get above that knuckle, I feel like a tingling sensation until you get into that final knuckle, the furthest knuckle up on the pointer finger, if you're holding the pointer finger up here. And that actually feels good, for lack of a better term. It feels like well stretched. After you have a good stretch and something's feeling good, that's what it feels like there. And as I keep moving up, we get around and under the nail, and I feel just a light pressing there. And then I feel just faintly my heartbeat actually under the nail. And that's it, right? That's all there is. And so we've done a large amount of expansion from step one, where we're just feeling that tip of the finger, to step two. We've expanded quite a bit, and there's a lot more there. And so you can do that quickly over a short period of time, but we also want to expand that time. And so if you just did a few minutes on, or a few seconds on the tip, that's completely fine. That's all we need to get you there. But as we expand into the whole finger, you probably want to do 30 seconds, 60 seconds. You can even do longer. Now, there's going to be a point where you experience some other feelings. And these are minimized when you're verbalizing, when you're saying the sensations out loud to someone else or to no one if no one's there. When you're saying the sensations out loud, it takes away some of the intensity of the inner experience, which is part of why we use it for training. It works very well. And if you're in a coaching session, it works very well for the coach to be able to tell what you're doing when you're meditating and making sure you're hitting everything and not missing anything. But once you go silent, which is what you do need to do, you experience those inner sensations more intensely. And then at some point, you'll have some things come up. You might jump into memories. You might jump into the future. You might have a flash of something you have no idea where it is coming from. And that is completely fine. That doesn't mean you're failing at the meditation. It means you're meditating. You are still succeeding at the meditation. You're just going to ignore it. It's no big deal. You don't have to try to push it out of your mind. You don't have to try to focus on it. You don't have to try to manipulate it. You don't have to try to do anything with it. All you're going to do is observe what's there and keep focusing on moving through your sensations on the area you're focused on. And that's it. Your experience is your experience, and you are succeeding at it. So that is step two, work up to the whole finger.